We are at White Plains Beach on the southwest side of Oahu. Got the all military surf classic competition. So the military and the buoy is going. The buoy is going. Yeah!
It's been a good day down here. My name is Kuhio Vellalos, and I just checked in on DOD shortboard women.
He's the man to beat over here.
But you just did it.
Him and Garrett out there. No, he got me in this one, but I'll get him in the final.
Yeah, man, that
Maybe.
doesn't count.
Nah.
Snake him, bro.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna wax his, soap his board, loosen his skates, pull his leash if I got him. Watch out.
But he's an okay guy.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. He's all right.
I was lost. I got one right in the beginning, and then I couldn't find anything. I was lost. I thought Rosa here beat me. He got the heat winner.
What is
Lewis.
You know Mr. Kuhio behind you?
Yeah, he's all right.
Is he alright?
Yeah, I know
Anything
him.
positive to say about him?
There's not much positive to say, except he kills it on the surfboard.
And a funny story?
Funny story?
You know what his nickname is?
No.
I was hoping you did.
No, I don't. I don't know him that good. Nah, I'm just playing. Nah, best photographer on this island, best friend on this island, honestly. Kills it in the water in every aspect of it, that's for sure.
That's a cool endorsement.
I did. I paid him. I got him this shirt. I got him these shorts.
Yeah, you took this picture. You took this picture.
Thank you, bro.
You're very welcome.
What does the ocean mean to you?
What does the ocean mean to you? Ocean is my place to play, to have fun, release some stress, hopefully share the joy of the ocean, of surfing, and yeah, just to basically have fun and to enjoy, you know, God's creation and enjoy it, really. That's it. Whatever you do, just have fun and enjoy it. Yeah, this is it. This is once a year they have this contest one day, and you know, it's a military, so you got the military and the DOD. A lot of the local people, they're all posted up at 5 a.m. We got here, they got here at 5, and we didn't even get one of the primo spots. So people post up actually all the time on the weekends, 5 a.m. and they open the gates and boom, they're in here trying to get the primo spots.
I took ages to find something.
Yeah,
half an hour.
exactly. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a easy wave, you know. You can surf all over, and it's not super localized. But yeah, families will come here. The kids can play in the shore break, and it's pretty safe. We got lifeguards and all that facilities to get the showers and bathrooms. Yeah, it's just a lot of fun. So we come here for the goodie bags.
All the merch.
Yeah, I'll get all the swag. That's what we're here for. Oh yeah, they barbecue. You know, they got, yeah, there you go. They got some guys burnt some burgers. No, we got our setup here. This is the biggest I think we've done it with our chili rice, chili frank, chicken, all kinds of stuff, potluck style. That's how we do it in Hawaii. Everybody brings a little bit, and then you share, and family style. It's great. Oh yeah, Macy, yeah, grew up surfing. This is the training wave for the contest. This side over here, it's a lot of work. You know, you gotta really search and make your own speed and power. So I remember back in the day when the kids my age were pros at that point. Moody would come down, Joel Centeo, Freddie, Bam. They come down here and train before they go up to California. And yeah, it's one of those waves you work, but you have fun, so it's great.
So you pretty much, like, as a grom, this is where you surf, right?
Yep, so we grew up surfing here. We surfed Haleiwa, Li'is, tracks on the west side. Just, yeah, it's an easy beach to surf at and just have fun.
We're sitting here in a little comfy studio / Airbnb. Thanks for coming down. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
excited to chat to you because I hear you quite the water photographer, bit of both.
Photography, I guess, is where I'm at. I'm learning video, so there's so much more out there, and it's pretty fun. All of it. All of it's
Amazing,
fun.
amazing. So, like, how long have you been at it now?
I've been shooting from the water probably 2018, 2019. Got a water housing to go with my little Sony A6000 and took off from there. But before that, I surfed all my life pretty much. I got to travel a little bit, my first real job out of college, so that kind of sparked the photography a little bit, and you just combine the two, and it's been a lot of fun.
Nice. So, grown up here in Oahu.
Yeah, born and raised Wahiwa, on Oahu, and yeah, all my life I went to college in Missouri, St. Louis, Missouri, for 2 years, and I knew that Four Seasons was not for me.
Why not?
Uh, I need the warm weather. I need the ocean. I need to surf. Yeah, I don't know. I got to be around the ocean and the sunshine.
I mean, you can't beat it. We're just down at the beach now, and we were just discussing how laid back, inclusive, like families down on the beach, super chilled vibe. It's a great place to grow up and to live.
Absolutely. I think one thing I've got two boys, 9 and 11, and my wife, and we just try to, be at the beach together as a family. We all surf. So it's just, yeah, it's family, and you find other families, and it's great.
Just hang. Tell me, let's rewind. Let's go back to you as a young man growing up. What were your sort of aspirations, goals, and maybe even challenges that you've had to overcome?
Well, everybody wants to be Kelly Slater, right? I did the Manuhuni, competitions, and obviously I wasn't going to be a pro, so going to school and getting a real job was apparent early on. We did the competitive surfing for a while, and actually I think I really lost the love for surfing. It was, you're investing all this time, you're investing all this money, you got to go out there, you got to practice no matter what, and it's not that fun, actually. So I think I quit surfing for a couple of years, but in high school, college, I was away for a little bit. But once I came back, I bought my first quiver, bought a step-up gun, bought a short board, bought a fish, and I just started surfing as much as I could. So surfing is supposed to be fun, I think. If you're not having fun out there, then what are you doing? And now, as I've gotten older, I'm a shortboarder, right? I'm a shortboard since forever, but riding different boards. I've got a longboard now. Well, my wife has a longboard I borrow. Mid-lengths. I'm turning into a mid-length hipster a little bit. So, but you catch a lot of waves, and it's a lot of fun. So that's something I try to hold back. I know my kids can be so much better, but just keeping it fun. Giving them the opportunity to have fun, and I think we've actually locked in with a pretty good group of people down at Eva Beach. There's this like you said, Ohana, and there's this families. They post up almost every weekend, and all the groms are just frothing. They're surfing. They're sand sliding. They're fishing. Riding soft tops, and just that whole energy, has driven, I think, my kids to getting better. Just in surfing, if we're speaking about that, and just a lot of fun. You're just trying to keep it fun, and get out there and stay a grom with the groms.
Growing up, like, I keep going back to this, but like, were you faced with any challenges, personal challenges?
Somebody was watching us. We lived at a low-income housing, our apartment area, when I was young, and my parents had left us with someone else, and you're running around playing as a kid, and there was these, I don't know how tall they are now, maybe that tall light posts, and the top part had the light, right? And I guess the workman dudes had been servicing the lights, and they had left the top unscrewed, and so I, as a kid, ran and jumped and grabbed it and was swinging around it, and of course this one came off, so I ran, swung, it came off, landed on my on my back, I guess, my neck, and then the piece that I was holding, the top of the lamp, the metal light post, I guess, smashed my face. So now I've got blood. You know, as a little kid, the person watching us grabs us, jumps in the car, and on the way, I guess, ran into my parents driving back. So that was my first experience with stitches the whole process of that. But I guess probably the longer story of that was my neck was messed up as a kid. So, you know, they sued, they won a little bit of money, and it, you know, basically went towards, I think there was a bit of, not a bit, but some medical care, right? I still have, you know, neck issues. I remember for a while there as a kid, maybe I was 10, 12, whatever, like, you know, you turn too fast and there's a burning sensation and being pretty much in pain for short periods of time. It's gotten better, you know, but that's just something that, you know, I'm not going to give up surfing and doing the things that I like to do. So that was probably my first young injury, neck, whatever issues, stitches. I've had, you know, plenty of injuries. I've partially torn my ACL surfing, taken off on a kind of a slabby wave, not secret spot, but secret spot, and fell backwards, and my foot stayed on the pad, and so I tweaked my knee, and then because I fell, the wave was like pulling the board and yanking on my leash, so that knee got tweaked for a while. I was on a 14-day boat trip to North Sumatra. You know, first day you get out there, it was great. It was a little bit, you know, small, fun barrels. Second day was really good. And like we surfed one spot. I think we went to the other spot, surfed a left. So we came back for the evening, and it was long, perfect barrels. And the spot that they told us was like, don't ride all the way to the end. They call it the claw, right? That's where the reef comes out. And I think, you know, Sunset Sesh, I got the one barrel, super long barrel, just super easy. Just sit on the edge. Guys would take off deep, they'd fall, and you just turn around and drop in barreled, multi-second, just watching it, you know, come over and over and over and come out dry. So I got one of those really good ones, right? And that's when you're like, I should go in. Like, nah, I'll get one more. We'll get one more. And so it's that one more, same thing, dropped in, came out of the barrel, but this one just kept, like, the wall just kept going. So I was like, oh, sweet. So just pumping, and then all of a sudden the claw, the dry reef, like, exposed itself. And I'm from Hawaii. Well, I'm from Oahu. I don't really surf dry reef type waves, and I froze. In retrospect, I probably should have just ejected as soon as I saw that happen, but I froze, and because I was going so fast and I was just locked in, the wave just picked me up, and I went over the falls, and I remember thinking, I'm gonna land on this reef and hamburger my body and face. And somehow, so I got pitched out into the flats. I landed with my arm out. I didn't hit the reef. And then I thought, okay, I'm okay. And then it picked me up, and I went back over the falls, and I thought, okay, now for sure I'm gonna hit the reef. I didn't. I came up, but I couldn't move my arm, and I was wearing a shirt, right, surfing with a shirt, and I dislocated my shoulder. So under my shirt, I could see my arm like that. This arm is unusable. I still got waves coming. I like grabbed my board. I got on with one and sort of just bumped across the reef, my fins a little bit, and came out the other side. And now I'm, you know, bellowing in pain, screaming. And you get all the, like, maybe 3 or 4 boats, and everybody's just watching. And but yeah, I screamed, and then someone sent. I was another boat. They sent their driver over, and, you know, Indo guy, and I'm just like, my arm, you know, don't grab this arm. So he grabbed me and pulled me on the boat, you know, and took me over to the boat that we were on. And yeah, day 2, so dislocated shoulder. We're in the middle of nowhere. Obviously, I'm in a ton of pain. Like it was comfortable to hold it up, and then it'd get too painful, and then I would load my arm down. It would be okay for a little bit. Meanwhile, they had gone to the other boats to try and find a medic. They found a kid, Rito, who worked on the probably the premier boat in the spot, and he came over and was like, meanwhile, so they're looking for somebody, and then the people on the boat, they find the first aid book and they open it up and they're like, how to step one, right? So then this kid shows up and he said, I've never done it, but I have experience, or not experience. I have training, so that's better than someone reading the book. So I had ice on the shoulder, and basically, I think basically he slowly worked it back in. When you're like that, you're basically the shoulders pulled out and the rubber, the tendons are stretched. And so what I'm told is, if you don't get it back in soon, your body basically goes into shock, and then you have to get a pain relaxer or something, a muscle relaxer, in order to relax the muscle so they can put it back in. So it was probably only a couple hours maybe, but he was. I remember he was just working on it. No shots, right? Basically, bite a rag. I wish I had video. I would have told someone, but
It would have been great.
Yeah, it would have been.
Maybe we can just reenact it or something. We can just.
No, I'm good. I'm good with down. But he put it back in, and it was like the utmost like the best feeling of it back in, but then knowing that I have 12 more days on this boat trip. But once it was back in, it was fine. I stayed on the boat the rest of the time, and then my buddy that was traveling with me back to Bali basically helped me with my board and all my stuff.
Is that the gnarliest wave you've wiped out on? One of the.
Probably just that dry reef and that going fast, and you're out in the middle of nowhere. There's no hospital, right? For sure. After that, when I travel to surf, I think about, do I really want to get hurt here? What's the risk reward ratio? I'm not a pro. I'm not making money on this. This is for fun, so it should be for fun.
What do you think your life would have been like if it wasn't for surfing?
Man, I don't know. I guess I'm pretty athletic. I like to play. I played soccer. We played baseball. We played basketball. I probably would have just been, a weekend warrior, playing soccer, sweating out in the field, and having fun at least that way. But surfing is definitely different. Yeah, life without surfing. I don't even know if it's surfing. I mean, surfing has a lot to do with it. I'm a shortboarder, so that's, to me, is like, that's surfing. There's a lot more, things. If I had to live on an island that there was no waves, I could be okay. If I could go in the water, right? If I could fish, I could dive. Something about the ocean really is quite therapeutic, relaxing. It would be a different life for sure. I definitely use surfing, the ocean, as an outlet to just relax and have fun.
How would you describe yourself? Are you quite an emotional person? Are you some more analytical and more sort of like in control of that?
I'm my wife will tell you I'm a square, right? Very logical. I'm very analytical. I think about, I'm an engineer by degree. I worked a little bit as an engineer, so I got that whole, like, the risk, is it worth it? What am I looking at? But surfing is like, it's kind of just, it's a feeling, that some people have just a great time on a longboard or a giant, board doing, just going straight and just cruising. I watch the guys foiling, and they foil, downwinders, and that looks insane. Just that feeling of surfing and gliding in the ocean and all that. Some guys love giant waves. I think that's terrifying. I like a little bit of excitement, but my surfing and excitement and enjoyment is very small compared to the crazy people in this world that like to do very extreme things. Yeah.
As a photographer and videographer, who sort of, did you have any mentors or anyone that kind of inspired you to take that path?
I think it just sort of happened. I've been a competitor Grom since I was in the Menahunis, and you surfer magazines and all of that, and you see all the imagery, and then you see Pipeline and Tahiti and just all of that. and it's fascinating. I've probably some of the guys that have really helped me is Kyoki. I he surfs some of the same spots as me. I see him surfing Big Waimea. I see him longboarding. He's an excellent photographer, and he's the one that told me, he's like, Kuhio, like, you can swim pipe, you can shoot at pipe. And I was like, yeah, whatever. Like, no, he's like, no, you have that ocean knowledge. You know how to handle yourself and how to read waves, all of that kind of stuff. So he's the one that probably put that in my mind. And just to be able to like mesh growing up, in Hawaii and surfing, being around the ocean, and then mesh it with photography, which is pretty interesting, in capturing moments and scenes as like your eye sees is pretty fun. And to be able to put the two together, is that my first job out of college, I got to work on the research boats out of the University of Hawaii, which was a great job. We would go basically all over the Pacific. We've been to Alaska and Fiji and New Zealand, Australia, Taiwan, Guam. Those are some of the fun ones that I went on. Cool places to go and see. New Caledonia. And
You surfed a lot of those places.
I was able to surf some of them. I was a photographer in the sense that when I would travel on those, I would bring the camera, take some pictures, it's pretty cool. Come back home and the camera would go on the shelf, right? I could do my normal whatever, surf some here or there. And then so that was kind of there, a little bit, the photography, and at least capturing, but I wasn't trying to learn, I guess. And then I got married, and my wife and I had our first son, and I was like, I want to document my kid, our family, as they grow up. So I sold the Rebel XTI that I had gotten, from Costco, and I got a tiny little Sony a6000, little mirrorless, so it goes from, camera and lens to camera and lens. So throw that in a hip pack. I can carry that everywhere. Whip that thing out, take photos, whatever. And I think that sort of started building. Now I want to learn about photography and how cameras work, and how cameras are just sort of the best way that someone has tried to mimic the human eye, right? Because the human eye is instantly able to take light and focus near and far, and just so cameras, right, have their limitations. And once you understand how they work, or how basically how they work, how they're designed, then you can understand it better and take bigger, better photos, or whatever you're trying to do. So switching over, like, now I have my son, capturing all of that, trying to learn. And as an engineer, as a very logical, analytical type, I really tried to understand that and move on. And I think that really helped where I am today with photography.
From a surf photography perspective, and the rise and popularity of video content over stills, how have you seen that shift and that change, and what is your opinion on that?
If you asked me 2 months ago, I would have told you I only do stills, I don't do video. Friend of mine, who's Lewis, who's a very excellent drone operator, he showed me some program and some techniques, and I tried it once, and I was like, wow, there's so much more that you can do. Right?
FPV?
No, he just not FPV. He uses the small DJIs, but I've seen a lot of drone operators, and the way that he can like fly around the surfer is pretty unique, I think, from amateur type, I guess, low level, normal people flying a drone. Definitely, he's very up there. But there's a lot more that you can do, right, with video and music really brings more emotion into the whole thing. But I like to capture stills. I think with photography, you're sort of like, you just, that moment is there and it's captured, and it's kind of timeless in that sense. You know, the things that we play videos on, right? Was it TV, movies, and now it's our phones. Who knows what it's gonna be next? But like photos, stills, and seeing it actually in print is pretty
Yeah,
unbeatable.
I was going to bring print up because I mean we all know how print has been affected over the last decade, 2 decades, with the advancement and with the popularity of social media and digital format videography. What's your feelings on that? On the fact that, you know, we grew up Surfer magazine in the post, and we just drool over those beautiful stills. We think of some of the legendary photographers like Aaron Chang, and you know they come to mind. It's a bit of a sad situation.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I grew up seeing that. I completely missed the film to digital, right, transfer, and then magazines. Like my first photo that I got in the magazine was the last issue of Surfer magazine, of Sis, Kalia Moniz, and then right, Surfer magazine just folded up. Yeah, there's very few. It's weird when you think about the fact that even now, like there's a giant swell somewhere and it's live streamed, which means the content coming from it is almost old, or it is old, right? You can watch the live stream, you can watch people posting live on Instagram, and then 2 days later, you're like, oh, that's the I already saw that, right? But to see your work in print, I've been fortunate to be able to not only see some of my surf photos in, but just like, you know, the candid photos of my kids, my boys playing. To see that in print is pretty amazing. It's totally different than, you know, on the screen, and you see it and you zoom whatever, and then it's done. To see it in a magazine or a print is just it's very different. It's I don't think it'll ever die. It definitely won't ever die, but just the popularity of video is driving that industry a lot smaller.
Are you turning your camera to portrait?
When I shoot video, I sure do. Right? You know, it's only gonna go on a reel. Well, for me, I'm shooting my kids. I'm shooting my kids' friends. I'm shooting my friends' kids. You know, it's only gonna go on Instagram, and so I already know that. So that's what I shoot it. I'm 44 years old. I think it's
You look good for 40.
it's a Filipino blood, yeah. And also the sun probably helps. Maybe it worked. Maybe it doesn't help, but yeah. So I'm 44. You know, I grew up in the competitive surfing world, and you see all the kids with the sponsors, and it's the same now, right? Kids are all stickered up and whatever, and clearly I wasn't, you know, never gonna be a pro. To be 44 now and to be, you know, just a little bit into this world and vast, and you know, being able to represent a brand, which I think is really cool. The people that are within Vast are so varied. You know, there's no like, you know, WCT surfer. They're all working class, you know, regular people that just happen to rip really hard in all their different ways. Is a really cool. You can wait for that moped to move.
Who put you on the team, Macy?
Yeah, so I've known Macy, right, since I was 12 years old, 10 years old, I don't know, whatever, and he hasn't changed at all. He's straight Grom. Like, I see him on whatever day it was, Friday, and it's just like he hasn't changed at all. Yeah. So John Kazan, I don't know if you guys met John. So John, like, he's a bit younger than me. I remember him as a tiny little Grom at Kiwalos, and then all of a sudden he's ripping out at Makaha, right? He's a lifeguard. So I shot with, I happened to capture him a couple times, and then found out, right, Macy is the one that's running it. I got back in touch with Macy, and probably actually only shot a couple times with him, and that's basically how I got on the team. And then you just meet the next person and the next person. Junjo, right? I've been a fan of Junjo since he was, the new school, and right, to be friends with him now is pretty amazing. He's vast. There's just a bunch of characters. They're all good people.
What does vast mean to you?
Vast is the people that I know, the crew, the Hawaii team, is so varied. And they're working, right? They're all working class. Nobody's out there getting the free ride as the top tier pro. And basically, man, you could put that whole, be a terrible, but like you could put that whole crew on a surf trip, be the terriblest trip for everybody else in the whatever area, right? But like everybody just rips so hard, and they're good at whatever it is that they do. You got some of the contest machine types, Scotty, but you got the lifeguards, you got guys that Jed from Oahu can ride the Alaya and can backside, boogie board, stand-up boogie board like nobody else. You got the guys in town. It's like a family almost, I'm sure there's egos, but like everybody is good and is that working class people. And the designs that they put out, I really like them. I really, it's just like a family, really, almost. It's a crazy family, but it's a family of good people.
Nicely put. Yeah, kind of just like a little underground movement happening, right?
Pretty much, it's you're like, what is vast? You're like, oh, it's like surf / I don't know, urban clothing. Like, I've never heard of it. You're like, yep, well, Junjo? No, Jun? Yep, that's one of his brands. That's one of the things that he sees. And I haven't met Sam. I'm dying to get over to Taiwan. But, just to see the things that he does is pretty cool. Obviously with the environment and taking care of things, I think is really worthwhile and noteworthy in the sense that every brand, right, is like eco-conscious and, whatever it is, take care of the environment. But I think it's at a different level for sure with Vast and with Sam and what he sees as important.
Are you involved with any sort of conscious effort to like make a little bit of a difference yourself from a sustainability point of view?
I don't have. I don't know how to answer. I've always grown up. I live on Oahu. You basically pick up your trash. You take care of your trash. You take care of everything else how you would want someone to take care of your house. That's the kind of way I see, and I live my life, and also train my kids to we treat others how we want to be treated. I think it's one thing I noticed traveling, and when you travel to places outside of the U.S., you see the level of how much we have, and maybe not just in the U.S., maybe it's a Western thing, but just how much stuff we have, right? You got your phone. I want the new iPhone. You've seen Hawaii. Everybody here drives lifted trucks, right? Oh, I want a lifted truck too, right? Everybody changes their truck every 3 years. And then you travel, where they don't have as much, and they're basically just, working to provide, to eat, to live, and you see how little they have. I'm not even talking about poverty, but just the working level people say, in Indonesia and Bali, and seeing that, and you realize, like, man, how much useless stuff do I have? Right? And I go on a trip and you try and give away all your stuff as much as you can, your clothes, all the stuff you don't need, your leashes, whatever. And I come back home, right? And I'm like, okay. And then, you find like two months later, like, man, that's a nice whatever I need. I should buy that. So it's a conscious, what do you actually need is actually probably very little, and trying to temper that with the world that I live in, that we live in Hawaii and in the U.S. of like it's all available, and everything marketing, everything is driven to making you buy more. So it's kind of that's my take on that.
Yeah, I think you've been able to experience it given the amount that you've traveled, and it kind of, as you say, it opens your eyes up to how much we consume, and I mean that happens in every part of the world, but like perhaps even more so in the Western world.
It's very true. That's one of the things I really want to pass on to my kids, right, and take them to see, to experience, like how much they have. You can tell them, right? You tell them all the time, man, you have so much more than I had a kid, and they just probably just yeah, whatever. But when you actually go there and you see the people, and they work and they play and they have their families, right, and they don't have as much, and yet they're still content. I mean, they're on the other end of like, oh, you're in the U.S., iPhone 15, and you guys, they want that, and I see it as like trying to go the other way, but you guys actually are content, and all this stuff doesn't make you happy. It's what you do, how you live with people and interact with people, I think is really important.
How you treat people.
Right, exactly.
Kuhio, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on. You're a waterman, you're a surfer, you're a father, photographer, videographer, and just all-around great, vast ambassador. So thanks so much for coming in. And man, we look forward to seeing you in the water and seeing some of your photographs, hopefully back in print.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me on. And it's really is an honor to be a part of VAST and to be able to get that little in with all of the amazing people, and just reaching out to actually all the surfers. I believe in respect and respecting people, and just passing on I'll say aloha, but just treating people how you want to be treated.
Yeah, I mean, we're just all part of a giant cog in the VAST family, and again, thanks so much for being a part of that and being the person that you are, and just keep the froth and stoke alive, dude.
Froth forever.
Yo.